Chairman of the Public Service Commission, Dr. Vincent Mnangagwa, senior government officials who are here, comrades and friends. It is my singular honor to be hosting this meeting with you, the country's ministers of state for provincial affairs and devolution, at this opportune time as we commence yet another year in our collective quest to realize Vision 2030. You will recall that at the commencement of the Second Republic, I declared an end to the then status quo where one province was a Nova Zonke. This in turn ushered in an era of equalized development towards a prosperous upper middle income economy for our country. The main focus remains centered at the grassroots level, particularly in our provinces and rural areas. As this meeting, being the first such gathering since our last 2023 harmonized general elections, allows us to take stock of the progress made under the devolution and decentralization policy, which is a critical core of the Second Republic. To this end, the policy continues to promote inclusive and equal development, as well as accountable and participatory governance for sustainable socio-economic development that leaves no one and no place behind. Commendable strides have been made to uplift the quality of life of our people in many facets, as how food security, health, decent housing, education, access to clean water and sanitation, as well as to key infrastructure such as roads, is being achieved. However, the ZANU-PF government and the generality of the people of our beloved land Zimbabwe, I urge us all to continue the hard work that has been a key characteristic of my administration. In this regard, one of the primary tasks of the governmental leadership, including you, our ministers of state for provincial affairs and devolution, is to focus on improving the people's living standards and achieving shared prosperity. We must be unrelenting in attending to all challenges and also take the requisite risks as we overcome the obstacles by implementing solutions that benefit our people. Hesitation, the dragging of feet and fence sitting are not acceptable dispositions under my watch. And H2, increase momentum to achieve our national development aspirations requires leaders who are bold, focused, hard-working, and those prepared to make the requisite personal sacrifices for unprecedented results, individually and collectively. The decide to be counted as those possessing these traits. This is the spirit that saw us realize our independence, our freedom, and the peace to become masters of our destiny. No matter how far we go towards a brighter future, let us stay true to that original aspiration and never forget from whence we came. That is unfair for annihilation, always having a heart for the people. It is for this reason, therefore, that the policy of devolution and decentralization is a beacon to the transformation, development, and prosperity we all have a duty to achieve, as embodied in our national constitution. Comrades, devolution is also critically important for national unity, social cohesion, and safeguarding the indivisibility of Zimbabwe as a sovereign unitary state. As provincial ministers, you are directed to demonstrate the leadership, capability, integrity, and humility that rallies all our communities across all districts within the provinces around the common national vision and the indivisibility of motherland Zimbabwe. You have a duty at the grassroots level to ensure that our society has vitality and hope, living in unity, peace, and harmony. It is under such environments that we can realize sustainable development and prosperity for our land, for both present and future generations. As ministers of provincial affairs, you must fully play your part to advance the industrialization and modernization of our communities, our districts, and our provinces. You should lead from the front in championing the implementation of people-centered development projects in a coherent manner, leaving no one helpless behind. You are assured of the support of central government in all your endeavors. Meanwhile, the culture of collective responsibility and enhanced coordination should be nurtured and strengthened across ministries, departments, and agencies, more so than the provincial level, for highly impactful results in demand. The positive work ethic and organizational agility, which are now more evident across provinces, must be sustained as we march forward. Vision 2030. May I emphasize that for the government to have an effective national devolution agenda, ministries of state for provincial affairs and devolution must submit comprehensive and timely reports. These include both ad hoc as well as routine reports on the state of provinces, highlighting all aspects, including those on economic affairs. It is, however, unfortunate that Some provinces are failing to make these submissions, resulting in gaps in checks in the coordination of the government programs and projects. This, I say, is unacceptable and is tantamount to dereliction of duty. Similarly, the non-attendance to cabinet committee meetings by some ministers who stand for provincial affairs and devolution in 2024 was glaring. As a result, cabinet committee submissions missed vital input from provinces. This anomaly must be adequately addressed. I expect the provinces to remain stronger, dynamic, and competitive economic hubs with marked growth across all sectors. This end, we are shifting paradigms, transforming ministries of provincial affairs and devolution from being merely administrative or ceremonial to champion economic development programs at the subnational level. The consistent implementation of provincial fiscal performance analysis dashboard and monitoring of the socio-economic performance of provinces must be prioritized in the coordination of the offices of ministers of state for provincial affairs. It is commendable that provincial economic development plans have since been validated for alignment with our national development strategy. The implementation of the National Development Strategy tool must give impetus and a greater focus on building modern, sustainable, and resilient provincial economies. The Public Service Commission is applauded for facilitating the development of competent and sustainable candidates to provinces as we capacitate government machinery at the lower tiers. This should translate to a higher quality of service delivery in all our provinces. Comrades and friends, our country's 10 provinces are endowed with God-given natural resources, including minerals, wildlife, land, and water, among others. Through you, the ministers of state for provincial affairs and devolution, our communities must remain good custodians of these natural resources and active players in their transformation into bankable, life-changing investment opportunities and projects of our people. Last year, we experienced the devastating effects of the El Nino-induced drought. This increased the vulnerability of some communities in both rural and urban areas. I thus urge you to continue ensuring the timely delivery of assistance across districts and wards within your provinces. Meanwhile, the complementary role of the private sector and the progressive private organizations in development of material affairs is a problem. However, organizations and elements that tend to advance plans and agendas should be resisted. I call upon provincial structures to shun and expose any machinations and underhand activities that seek to reverse the progress we have achieved as the second republic. Comrades, the supremacy of our revolutionary mass party, ZANU-PF, over government remains an enduring and integral principle to our work. Provinces should continue to work with traditional leaders and party structures so that our people participate in decision making and also take ownership in the implementation of government projects and programs. Takati nyika inova igotomba igonamatirwa nevene vayo, ibizwe rakiwa libuswe likulekele navanikazi vavo. Joint meetings and seamless coordination with the party and development committees at appropriate levels should be improved. Programs and projects being undertaken within the provinces must be clearly articulated, including their overall impact on the levels of our people. In conclusion, I urge ministries, departments, and agencies at provincial level, including councils, to remain duty-bound and committed to the realization and protection of our national interests and development aspirations. As we build resilience and adaptive capacity for sustained economic transformation, the business as usual approach and the narrow, tough walls should be decisively dismantled. Unity of purpose, dedication, and innovation, coupled with efficient coordination in the implementation of government policies, programs, and projects are indeed critical building blocks for the realization of Vision 2030 and must be key priority areas. Finally, as we go back to our provinces, we implement the various provincial development plans and the national development programs for the year. Let us always preach unity, preach peace, and preach development among our people. At all times, we must be guided by the spirit and culture which continues to be the child under the Second Republic, which says, unity begins with me, unity begins with you, and unity begins with all of us. With these remarks, I wish you all impactful results in your respective provinces as you go back to your provinces. God bless you all. God bless you all.